All right, what's going on, everybody? We are going to fly through the charts today. Here are the pairs that I usually go over, pairs that I trade at least or invest in. And then, we're going to go top down. I might look at the weekly, but really I like to look at daily, the hourly, and then kind of the lower time frame in the minutes sometimes. 15-minute really being the lowest for me. So just kind of getting a directional bias more than anything. And then, being able to find zones for tomorrow to go in and take some shots. All right, so I'm going to peep the weekly really quick on the DXY. See, we pinned the top of the Bollinger Band 3 times. Last week we came down and, came kind of into this zone. You see we kind of held here 1 week, held here again, and now we're kind of right at that. So I'm going to keep that just line there. It's really a zone. You see how it kind of came up here too. And over here it kind of failed to really get up any more than what it did. So, this is an interesting spot. And you can see how, the dollar has been rallying especially since those interest rates a couple of weeks ago. They spoke about that. And, eventually, if they do raise the interest rates, that is going to raise the dollar. But for now, it's kind of, to me, looks like it's more of in a corrective phase-ish. Obviously, there was this big impulse right here. And ever since then, to me, it just looks kind of corrective. So I'm going to, kind of, this could easily just start making these lows down in here, breaking down below this. But it hasn't really, on a daily or a higher time frame, it hasn't really, to me, changed a whole lot of structure. But when you start to go down to these lower time frames, you can really see the structure change right here. And so to me, it does look kind of, lower time frame looks kind of bearish. I'm more of an intraday. So when I go down to even lower time frames, it starts to switch again. So to me, the dollar is a little bit up in the air on which direction I think it could go. Higher time frames, it looks bullish. Lower time frame, like mid time frame, 4 hour, starting to make these lower lows and lower highs. And then when I go to the lowest time frames, I'm starting to see bullish price action. So anything I play on the dollar tomorrow is probably going to be less risk than usual. Okay, you can see this impulsive move that happened here. Then we had a retracement. Now we have another little impulsive move. That's not really the biggest impulse, but to play it, you see this down move and then up move. Let it come back into this area and then move to the upside is what I'm thinking tomorrow could have for the dollar. A move like this and then a move up, probably down during London, up during New York type. You can see this little divergence that was going on. We made these highs and the momentum was not with it, not on the RSI either. I would say if we start to break structure on the 1 hour, then we'll probably come back down to these lows that are just chilling right here. These equal lows that are just sitting right there. I have a feeling they're going to get hit. So, just be careful. I'm not 100% on the dollar. I don't really like where it's at right now, to be honest. So I would really like to see something a little bit more confirmed. If we see this, then we have a pretty good idea that the dollar is probably going to continue up higher. If it breaks through this low here, then we can maybe look for this area to get hit. So I don't really like drawing over my charts like that with the arrows, but and I can just delete this divergence because that's already played out. But really, a little bit lower and then move up is what I'll be looking for. Which means on this, I'll be looking for a little bit, I meant a little bit down, then move up. So on this, I'll be looking for a little bit move up, then down. And let me just peep this weekly really quick. Weekly's starting to look like it's bottoming out, maybe looking like it wants to come up to the top. But at the same time, this level right here is pretty interesting spot. So not a whole lot on the weekly to look at. Daily, daily has put in that little possible top right there after we broke this low. Got a little bit of a bearish pattern here. We're holding up this 20 EMA on the daily. This might even be a little swing spot right here from this low to this high. Where are we at? We haven't quite hit the 61.8 yet. I like to use these. And then I've been liking black fibs lately. I need to change my settings a little bit. But we didn't quite hit the 61.8 yet. And that could happen. Price has started to change structure on the 4-hour. Broke this very clean zone right here and retested it and started to fall again. So, you know, the structure on the lower time frames is bearish. But on, I mean, and really you can see overall it's bearish, but it started to switch the structure right here. Okay. And now we're in this kind of corrective downward trend. So how I'm going to play, I mean, I'm probably not going to play it. I'm going to see what else what other charts are looking like, but you can see this area is just clean. If it comes down into the 61.8 again, and then starts to create bullish structure, because we're on the 1 hour, but this is like more of a swing area. So it's a high probability area that it'll play out, but it might take a minute. So I'm seeing kind of this move down. We get a 1, 2, 3 like this. I'm seeing if we can get this pattern right here down in this area. Even if it comes down to the 78.6, that's fine. But this is a possible area to look to buy from. Now, if it breaks, let's see. I'm not going to buy it unless it does this. Now, the selling opportunity is there still, right, for this move down. So this would be like the move that you could look for also. Something up here. We had this move where we had a quick move up, quick move down. And then we have this ABC pattern, and then probably going to see a move down like that. If we break this high, then that could be something to look for a retracement and then a move to the upside. But that's what I'll be looking for EU. GU, I'm going to start to go a little faster, okay? GU on the daily. All right, it's in an interesting spot, but nonetheless, it's kind of going sideways, okay? It is technically, at this point, in my opinion, kind of a sideways market, just overall. Kind of not choppy by any means, just sideways. Every time it comes up here, goes down. Every time it comes down here, it comes up. So I don't really love to use fibs in a choppy market, but I am going to bring them out just to show, you know, where we are rejecting from. Kind of in a choppy market, it is a little higher than lower, I would say, on this little range that we have here. And, you know, some people, I think, have this channel drawn out, right? Something like this. And we're at the technically top of the channel over here. So I'm more in favor to see it fall, especially with this type of candle yesterday. So let me go look at the lower time frames and see if there's any type of setup for the bears. Okay, so this would be the only thing I really see. And I'm not loving it, but you see this manipulation move up and then this move down. I think if we can come back into that to test this, and it's the 78.6 of the overall fit swing, I think that might be an okay move. There is this liquidity area right here. We got equal highs, and we almost tapped into that equal highs again. So, you know, price might want to come make one more final grab up here because, you know, anyone who's selling right now has their stop losses up here. And anyone who thinks this is going to continue to the upside probably has buy stops right here. So there's a lot of orders sitting right here, liquidity, and the market very well could come up, grab this, and then do like the move I want to see. But if I go down to this 15, you can see the impulse to the downside is pretty clean. Looks like the buyers haven't really tried to step in, or at least the sellers haven't really let the buyers step in too heavy yet. So, in my opinion, I think we're going to see, here's that 78.6, here's that 61.8 of this. So I think this just area right here is a okay area to look for sells. Now, I need to make sure that all the other GBPs look a little bearish before I continue with this. But if the dollar does kind of make this move down into this area right here, if the dollar makes a move down like this into that and then goes up, then I would expect GU to make a move up and then go down. Same with AU basically. But the Aussie has been kind of moving at its own rate. So let's see what this is doing real quick. It's had a couple bullish weeks, and it's coming into this area. And for the longest time, it didn't want to break out of this area, and it finally did. And now we're coming back into it. So, we can put this line however close you want to these wicks or whatever, but we're getting close to this price that we didn't really want to break for a while, and then finally broke, retested, and dropped out. Coming back into it, I do expect some type of turbulence coming up. We've had a pretty good run, and it hasn't really had a pullback at all. I at least expected to pull back to the 20 EMA on the daily at some point, just the middle of the Bollinger Band. Right now, we're up at these, double top areas. We're showing a little bit of divergence here and here. Okay, we're not even close to double topping on any of the momentum. And we are pretty much exactly double topped on the price. So I'm not going to buy into the strength. What I'm going to wait for is a break of structure on the lower time frame. So I actually like the way AU looks more than some of these other ones. I'm not going to play the risky spot right here just because the Aussie has been moving a little bit. This is actually a good position if you are kind of risky, I guess. You have the risk of that price still getting hit from, this overall. It doesn't have to get hit. We all know that, but that would be the only, I would say, risky part of it. Also, the 1 hour structure is just insanely bullish. That's another part, but you can kind of see this bearish, long over played out bearish flag right here. And I don't think it's too bad of a position right here, right now, to be honest. I personally don't trade at this time, so it's time I just kind of get on and look to see what I'm going to do for the next day, so I'm not anxious in the morning. So, but this looks like a really good position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for these lows down here to break. So I'm just going to put a zone right here, as long as price is above this zone at basically 0.75. Then I'm going to remain off the charts. So I need to see a pretty big move like this, and hopefully it gets a retracement. So I need a lot to see on AU basically, or just get in now and risk it. Looks like there's some AU news possibly. I haven't even checked out news this week. It's okay. Don't gotta watch for news all the time unless it's NFP week, is it? I'm just kidding, it's not. All right. UCHF. Last week we had a pretty bearish week. It closed really bearish. Just been kind of consolidating though. You can see it on the daily, a lot more consolidation right here. It came down to this bottom Bollinger Band, did make a move up. Yesterday it didn't do much at all. Let's see if we can get something out of this. So 4-hour structure's been kind of bearish. We did get this little impulsive move here. Did come above 50 a little bit. I don't know if it's enough momentum to start to give us another leg up, though. There's this down here that never got taken out. And that might be where the market's heading. Maybe. Let me see. Let me do a little bit more here. These got taken out with this. Retracement. Are we right at that fib? Pretty much. Rejection. Yeah, we're probably going to see another leg down on this. Even though I really kind of like the look of this right here, too. That's what I was saying. I don't know if this is enough momentum to warrant another leg up, but it's lining up nice with this zone over here. Let me do something real quick. I haven't had these on all day. Yeah, there's a lot of volume down here, so that's good at least. That will definitely be something I'll have to line up with tomorrow with the DXY. If the DXY comes into this zone tomorrow and shows rejection, and UCHF is down in this area showing rejection, then I think we have a trade idea. UJ has been moving to the upside past couple weeks. Last week it had a stall. Let's see what it's going to do this week. Okay, is it going to correct right here basically? So had a big move up, little correction. Big move up, little correction. Are we going to see another push up here, or is this where it's going to fall? This might be where it's fallen. It might be the turning point. You can see like the little structure on the 4-hour. It did break, and we've got a lower low, lower high, lower low. This little situation might bring us to a lower low. I'm not super confident in it yet. See how it's been chopping really like clean, kind of cleaner waves. So if it's going to stick with this clean wave that it's doing, like structure, like really clean structure, pretty much. You can just see the lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then we didn't get that lower low. We got a little bit of change in structure. So we might be moving up. That's why I don't want to sell it yet. I want to wait for some type of structure. Should really be probably down here to break. So I'm going to wait on UJ to break down. Once it starts to break down, though, I'm going to look for it to come all the way down to 112.62. So once it breaks, I think it has a good amount to go. I'm not really trying to swing trade anything. So I'm trying to wait for it to start to break down the lower time frames and just get a bite out of the swing. That is what I do. All right, EG. EG is just being lame lately, to be honest. This big bullish weekly candle, I thought this was going to be the low of this little range. Obviously, it's not. So it already broke through this range that we've had for a while. And if it keeps going to the downside, then that's whatever. I'm not playing the downside on EG for nothing. You can see the momentum divergence right here. We're really low and we're not so low. Right here, we're making lower lows. So price and momentum are not agreeing. I'm just waiting for this thing to show some type of bullish day or something. I thought right here was really breaking out. I thought especially because it did like this break, retest, go. I thought it was gone right there. But then it slipped back again. It just doesn't want to, I guess, make this pop to the upside. So I'm just going to be waiting on it to happen. It looks like there could be some like Wyckoff accumulation going on right here. But I think I've said that on EG for like ever. I feel like it's just been so ugly. Look, every time it pops, it comes right back down. Pops, comes right back down. Pops, good, came right back down. Come on, dude. So, yeah, I'm definitely waiting on EG to pop above this. Basically, let me just go ahead and drag that down right there. Once it can break above this, I'm buying, but I'm not going to continue selling because I think at any point it could just be a fake out. I don't like selling when price is so low. Trying to find the best setup of the night. We could be seeing it with GJ. Let's look at this. Weekly, we're starting to throw possible rejection wicks up here. Possibly. I definitely want to mark this off though. This weekly top that we broke. And it's looked like we like retested it last week and started to move off of it this week already. So that is definitely something to look at. But you can see that this move right here, it didn't really retrace. Kind of like UJ. UJ and GJ are in similar spots right now. So if this is going to continue up, it needs to retrace some more than this, in my opinion. It doesn't have to, right? It could just break and retest this zone and go. But I would like to see it retrace a lot more. There's a very clean area at the 61.8. So let's look at this 4-hour structure. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Then we failed to break the highs and we get a lower low, possible lower high. So if this is a lower high, we should see a lower low after this. Now, it's kind of like UJ. The structure right here just kind of switched. So the 4-hour structure switched, but the 1-hour structure just switched again. So it could be, not the best timing. You could really be getting into like if you get into a sell right now, it could be the best position for a buy. That's the kind of position we're at. Because, right here, price is already pulled back probably 38.2, a little bit more, and it could just continue up. But also on the flip side, we got this little bearish flag. So what I'm going to do is, personally, I'm going to wait for the bearish flag to start to play out and then look for positions to take it down into here. How I look at it is if there's a big setup and I'm looking for, in between the setup, there's 481 pips. I just want to get like a piece of that. I don't really even care to hold that whole thing. So this could be the first piece of it up here, but that's kind of risky in my opinion because you're just trying to call the tops and bottoms of these swings. That usually doesn't happen. So that's why I'm going to wait for the swing to start to play out. And then once it does, I'll have a little bit more room, a little bit more certainty. Like if we get a big move down like this, I'll be like, damn, I should have took that sell. But then I'll kind of have a better idea that we should, on the next move, we should continue to the downside. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what GJ does. I need to keep trying to break structure. If it gives a sharp move up during like London and it's like 3 sharp like 15-minute candles up into this area and then the next candle is bearish, I might go for it or for a sell up here. But other than that, probably not. Okay, GA, you're still dropping. So let me see what we got with this thing. Okay, coming back into this little area that it broke out from. I had some buyers step in here. Now we're coming back into that. kind of hugging the bottom of this Bollinger Band. If you are a harmonic fan, I'm sure we have some type of harmonic going on coming up. The scan would print like this probably. So we got possible bullish reversals coming up. A little bit of divergence here with lower, higher, higher, lower. No divergence on the RSI though. So let me see here. Obviously, it's risky to buy down here, but it's also, to me, risky to just keep selling into this. So I'm going to wait for bullish structure. Because sticking with the trend is always good, but then eventually the trend is going to like change. And so if you stick with the trend when it's down here, your odds of winning are just decreasing. So for me, I'm not going to play, I see this up down move. I'm going to opt out to play that because I want to see a complete, reversal here. So I really got to wait a long time probably to see this. I was thinking that this break right here, I thought we were about to see this happen on that, but nope. I got to wait for all this to break, and I need to see a substantial break, hold, and then go to look for buys. I'm not going to keep selling it as it's already dropped for I don't know how many days in a row. So to me, it looks a little played out. Sometimes I like to draw from like here to here and then see how much we've gone down pretty much all the way. So pretty good equal measure move there right into this area where we've seen the bulls come in a bunch of times. This was like a really tough zone in the past. So I'm definitely not selling into it. Sometimes I don't really find a setup. I just find what not to trade. So I'm not going to sell this. Which means I'm probably not going to sell this, even though it's just dying. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy it. I'm just not selling it anymore. It's made so much noise to the downside. I'm more of a contrarian, so that's why I don't really care to look for sells, even though it's trending down super hard. That's when it usually just reverses. So I'm going to need to see just a pretty clean reversal. Obviously, needs to come up before I even look to buy it. Back up to these highs. Okay. Let's see what we got with gold. Oh, it's dropping still. That's good. All right, so on the weekly, we're at this Bollinger Band in the middle of it. Not a whole lot off of this weekly, except that, we kind of gotten into this area or gotten into price where we haven't really wanted to go much higher. So I got about 10 minutes left. That's plenty of time. So I'm looking at gold and I'm seeing this right here. This is the only thing that makes me not want to just sell gold every chance I see since it's been down here. This area at 1833, it just looks like it's gonna get hit first. But it might not. This trend is still intact on the 4-hour, barely. It could turn here, but it also made a very nice impulsive move down, and it came back up to these fibs and it just fell nicely. It's probably going to continue down. I'm not a fan of gold lately at all. It's just been not my pair. In my opinion, if you don't trade gold every single day and like really, really hone in on it, it's not the best pair to trade anyway. You can see just this clear little break right here. So we're probably going to see some low pricing on gold. I'm trying to find where I would get in on another position, but it already looks like it's going. This would be the spot though. 78.6. But I think it's going to drop. The VIX is not talking about much. I mean, it's in an area where it's not wanting to go lower, right? So that is one thing to actually note. It gave a bullish mark off that. So we could see lower prices on these boys coming up soon, possibly. So NASDAQ through that wick, but these time frames are very bullish. So timing the reversals on these are almost impossible, I swear. 4 hour, I mean, to me, it looks like it's getting ready to fall. It does. It really does look like it's getting ready to fall. Same with the S&P close, right? We did break these highs. So it did make new all-time highs, but the volume was low on it. US 30, same thing. I think they have a chance of falling soon. So I'm gonna watch out for those. I'm not gonna buy into it anymore. These are something I'm just, if there's a buy setup, I'm gonna wait out on it and just look for the downside setups to come, because there's a lot of room on all of these for a correction down. Sorry, for a correction to the downside before another move up, if that's what it's gonna do, if it's gonna continue to go up. There's a good amount of correction that could come first. So, and then the crypto market. Let's look at this first. So this is what I'm kind of trying to keep my eye on, the bigger picture. So I always like to refer to the monthly charts on crypto. This is the pretty much the one that I don't day trade it a lot, but I put money into it a lot. So I like to watch the bigger picture on this, and the monthly just looks amazing, right? The monthly looks like we're going to just continue to make way bigger candles. Sometimes I'll go and put this on the log chart. Why did it do that? Is it because the Bollinger Band's on it? Huh. Okay. But yeah, sometimes you can really see it a little bit better on the log chart, how we just kind of printed this candle. And to me, it just looks like we're getting ready to, go big time. Every time Bitcoin has printed a candle this big, it has made higher highs the next month, every single time. There's not one time on here it hasn't. So I'm getting ready to look for bullish setups on Bitcoin. I know the weekly candle is kind of but overall, I think next month, no matter what, we're pretty much not guaranteed to see higher prices on Bitcoin, but I think next month we're gonna see higher prices. And a lot of times, what will not a lot of times, but I've seen this pattern. I feel like before, where I know I saw it on Ethereum this bull run. Okay, where was it? All right. It's right here, in how where the market will make like a run and then it'll show like a reversal pattern, and then like the next week or two we just blow through it. That's kind of like what Bitcoin's doing right now, in my opinion. I think it's going to kind of show this pattern and then kind of blow straight through it, or it's going to do something like this. We might have a little down week or two, but then we're going to blow straight through, and we're going to see ridiculous high prices. Because once the top gets broken, there is no there's going to be so much liquidity, number one, from people trying to short it, and number two, from people's like orders just continuously being rushed into the market. Buy stops on buy stops. So what I'm going to look for on Bitcoin, I do think it can continue to drop a little bit from here. And in fact, I'm going to be not smart about it, but there's two ways to look at it. You can look at it from this low to this high, be patient for this 50 or 50,700 price, or play the swing from here and look for, you know, these prices coming up. We might see a little sweep of these lows and then a move up. That could definitely be happening too. But the safest play literally is just wait for this to break. And once this breaks, we should see that rocket ship. But like I said, we still have to, you know, we still have to keep this in mind. These prices all the way down here, still possible. But regardless, this price or this price, it's good price. Now, if you're day trading, you know, I would maybe wait for this one, or, you know, play both, and you probably can make your money back on one of them. So these fib extensions are calling for 75K Bitcoin, and then the larger swing is 83K Bitcoin. So I pretty much have the same bias on all the other cryptos. Bitcoin's kind of running the show, so there's no reason to really get into those. I don't really have much time anyway. So I appreciate y'all for coming on. I'm really not loving how the charts look today. There's some more things to really watch out for than to trade. But if I see anything tomorrow, I'll drop it in the chats for sure. So I appreciate y'all for coming on. You'll have a good one. Peace.